Have you ever felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, as if you were alone in a storm, without shelter, without help? In such moments, the soul can feel exposed, vulnerable, at the mercy of life's strong winds. But there is a promise, an embrace of security that echoes from one of the most beautiful biblical verses. Psalm 3 verse 3 reminds us of a truth that calms the heart. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory, and the one who lifts my head. This verse is a balm for the soul that feels helpless. It doesn't deny the existence of threats or difficulties. On the contrary, it acknowledges them but immediately points to a greater and more powerful reality, the presence of God as our protection and dignity. Imagine the psalmist, David, in one of his darkest moments, fleeing from his own son, Absalom. He was surrounded by enemies, betrayed by those he trusted, and his reputation was in tatters. Amidst this desolation, he does not surrender to despair, but raises his voice in a declaration of unwavering faith. The shield. No one sees, but everyone feels. When the psalmist cries out, "But you, O Lord, are a shield for me," he is revealing a profound truth about the nature of divine protection. It is not a physical shield we can hold, but a security that permeates our existence, an invisible barrier against the arrows of discouragement, criticism, and fear. Think of Donna Clara's story. She had always been a woman of strength, but life, with its twists and turns, caught her by surprise. An unexpected diagnosis, the departure of a dear friend, the feeling that the ground beneath her feet seemed to give way. Worries accumulated, and nights became long and restless. In one of these moments of fragility, she felt completely unprotected, as if every new piece of news was a direct blow to her soul. It was then that, amidst a silent prayer, the words of Psalm 3:3 came to her mind. "You, Lord, are a shield for me." It wasn't a thunderous miracle, but a peace that began to settle in her chest. She realized that the shield didn't mean the difficulties would disappear, but that she wouldn't face them alone. It was the certainty that a greater force was protecting her, giving her the resilience to endure whatever came. This shield was the faith that spurred her to seek treatment, to accept grief, and to find small moments of joy in everyday life. It was the conviction that, even wounded, she was secure in a greater purpose. The glory that does not fade. The psalmist continues, "My glory." In a context where David was being publicly humiliated, this statement is revolutionary. His glory was not in his throne, his military conquests, or the admiration of his people, but in his relationship with God. This teaches us that true glory is not something the world gives us or takes away, but an intrinsic dignity that resides in our essence, in the fact that we are loved and valued by a creator. Imagine Mr. Jose, a man who dedicated his life to work and family. As the years passed, retirement arrived, and with it a feeling that his glory, his importance, his active role had diminished. He saw his colleagues still active, his children independent, and felt an emptiness. Past achievements seemed distant, and the present at times seemed dull. But what the psalm reveals to us is that Jose's glory was not in his position or his productivity. His true glory was in his kindness, in his accumulated wisdom, in the patience he cultivated, in the love he dedicated to his family. The glory that God granted him was his identity as a human being, with all his experiences, mistakes, and successes, transformed into a rich and unique tapestry. It was the ability to inspire others with his story, to offer wise counsel, to enjoy the beauty of simple things. This glory, which comes from God, does not fade with age or changes of phase. It deepens, refines, and becomes a light for those around. Head held high, a sign of renewed hope. Finally, the psalmist declares God as the one who lifts my head. A bowed head is a symbol of shame, defeat, sadness. It is the posture of one who feels crushed by circumstances. Lifting one's head, on the other hand, is a gesture of restored dignity, renewed hope, and courage to face the future. Think of Anna's story. She had gone through a period of great sadness, a loss that left her prostrate, with her head bowed, unable to see beauty or purpose in her life. Each day was an effort, and joy seemed a distant memory. She felt her life was at a dead end, and hopelessness was a constant companion. It was in a moment of deep introspection that Anna began to recall small joys, moments of kindness she had received, an inner strength that sometimes surprised her. She realized that even in the depths of pain, there was an invisible hand that urged her to lift her gaze. Lifting her head was not a magical event, but a gradual process of healing, of rediscovering her own resilience. It was the ability to cry, yes, but also to find a reason to smile, to accept the support of those who loved her, to take one step at a time towards the light. God, for Anna, was the one who, with love and patience, helped her raise her gaze, to see that, despite the pain, life still held beauty and purpose. The message of Psalm 3:3 is an invitation to look beyond appearances, difficulties, and the voices that try to diminish us. It is a reminder that, in God, we find an unshakable shield, a glory that does not fade, and the strength to lift our heads, no matter how heavy the burdens. It is a promise that we are not alone, and that hope and dignity are gifts that accompany us every step of the journey. May this truth resonate in your heart, bringing comfort and the certainty that, even in the most challenging moments, there is a loving presence that protects us, values us, and encourages us to move forward with our heads held high.